Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Heather and today we're going to be doing a reading vlog where I go on some blind dates with some books. I went to Second and Charles and picked out 4. I love their little shelves. They have a really good selection most of the time. And you know, it's that time of year where I like to do this kind of stuff. And all of these are upside down, sorry, my bad. But yeah, we're going to do a reading vlog where I go on blind dates with some books. And I have one that seems like a dystopian, where it's a society and distant groups and all that kind of stuff. So possible. This one is a baseball game. 2 people start an online connection based on a misunderstanding. Sounds familiar. Hopefully I haven't read it yet. This one is a has-been golfer falls in love with his #1 fan. And then this one is 2 assistants working on a famous house renovation. Couple are tasked to keep their boss's crumbling relationship under wraps. I haven't read this one before. This sounds familiar. Hopefully I didn't get things that I've already read. Anyways, we're gonna that's what we're gonna do in this video. So hopefully you enjoy it. Babe, come here. Okay, what book should I read first? A futuristic society, like dystopian. A surprising encounter. 2 people make an online connection, start to fall in love. I want to be... Oh, a has-been golfer falls in love with his #1 fan. Or 2 assistants working for a famous house renovation couple try to keep them together. First one? Mm-hmm. This dystopian society? Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. You just helped me pick which book I'm going to read first. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open this and see what it is. Read it. Oh! No, never read this book. It's Divergent. Okay, we're going to read Divergent. I've never read this. Obviously, people love this book. And that's the first book we're going to read. Cool. So I'm going to cheat a little bit in this video. I'm reading Rouge right now, but I'm also doing this for another video, and it will be perfect in my bingo board. So I'm going to do like a crossover and read this one for the other video and this one for this video too. So I'm cheating because I can do that. So I am enjoying Divergent so far. I'm at the halfway point, and it's a lot like all of the other YA dystopian books, but I'm really liking this one for the fact that once they get in factions, they have, well, Beatrice, she picks her faction, and then it's literally like survival of the fittest, and they have to fight for their right to be in the faction. And they are put through all of these tests to make sure that they can endure what the faction is all about, you know. So I'm not going to tell you which faction she goes in. I'm sure most of you have read this book, but for people who haven't read this book yet, I'm not going to tell you which faction she goes into because it'll give kind of spoilery stuff. But she's realizing that all of the prejudice that she's heard over the years about the specific faction that she's in is not true. So it's talking a lot about political things. It's also talking a lot about, there's some misogyny in here, or a lot of misogyny in here. There's also a lot of found family aspects in here, finding yourself, coming of age, all of those things. But I like how Beatrice is handling the situation. She is not shying away from missing home. She is learning a lot of things that she didn't know about herself, which I really enjoy about books like this. And I also know that something really, really bad is going to happen. I don't think we're going to get it in the first book per se, but I do know that there are 3 other books after this. So I'm only going to assume that it's going to get worse. But I also really like her mom. Her mom has surprised me in the best way. And I like that she's making new friends. And like I said, it's that found family aspect. There's also a boy that's a potential love interest. I like him. He's that broody bad boy, harsh until it comes to her, and then he's all soft and cuddly and stuff. I like this kind of love interest. And then you just have like a ragtag group of people that are trying to get into this faction and, you know, trying to stay. And there's just a lot of learning going on, which I appreciate. I also found a quiz, so I'm gonna see which faction I would be in if I were in Divergent. I think I already know which faction I would be in just from like my personality tests that I take, my Enneagram, all of those tests. But we're gonna see which one I would be in based on this BuzzFeed thing. So let's do it. What color do you wear the most? Out of all of these, gray. Wear gray the most. Pick a phone app. Text, Instagram, Google, Facebook, Instagram. What do you value most? Selflessness, kindness, revenge, honesty, bravery, intelligence. Probably out of those, it's either honesty or intelligence. Probably honesty. What is your sin? Gluttony, pride, sloth, envy, greed, wrath. I am a kind of angry person, so we'll pick wrath. Pick a TV show. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Law and Order. Don't watch TV. Out of those, I don't really watch a lot of TV, but I would watch Law and Order out of all of those. What are you guilty of? Telling lies to people? No. Being blunt. Acting before thinking. Spending more time at your job than with your friends. Quitting too easily. Putting others before... Well, I'm blunt. And I put others' needs before mine. I say be blunt. Because I only put others' needs before mine. And it's like my family and stuff, you know. What's your dream job? Lawyer. I don't want a job. Volunteer work. Doctor. Police officer. Astronaut. At this point, I just don't want a job. But out of all of those, probably a lawyer. Fun fact, I was gonna go into pre-law, but I changed my major. Pick your poison. Beer, water, wine, tea, shots, coffee. It would have been beer a long time ago because I'm a beer girly, but now I just drink a lot of water. I know I'm boring now. Pick your superpower. Shapeshift, super strength, minds, teleportation, healing powers, reading minds. Probably healing. Pick your phrase. You look nice, I dare you. I know that. I know you're lying. Can you help me? Need help? I say I dare you a lot to my kids. So the faction that I got is Candor. I'm not mad about that. I thought it was either going to be Candor or the E one, whatever the E one is. Candor is a faction dedicated to honesty and trust, believing that honesty and openness is the key to a more peaceful society. They believe in fairness and are always thinking the truth, a trait that makes them brutally blunt and able to read body language to detect lies. Their attire consists of black, white, and their substance in this choosing ceremony is glass. Transparent. Yes. I'm not mad about that. I kind of like that, but I'll let you know how I feel about this entire book. I think I already know what my rating is going to be, but I'm not going to tell you yet. Because if it keeps going the way that it's going to be the rating that I'm thinking. But if something really crappy happens, then you know me. I'll bump it down a star or half star or star or whatever. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's a good one. This was a solid YA dystopian. I'm gonna give it 3.75 stars because there were some things in here that I can't tell you without spoiling the book for you if you haven't read it. But there were just some things that I was just kind of like side-eyeing, you know. But overall, really good story. I'm excited to continue on with the series. I already have the second book on hold at my library. So I liked this a lot. It's worth it. Very well worth it. Very well deserved for all the praise that it's gotten. It has so many different topics of, like I said before, coming of age, figuring out who you are, realizing that the world around you isn't as perfect or what it seems, how other people view the world, how your views change because you get to know other people and you get to see things for yourself. That was a main topic in here. And obviously the dystopian world of mindlessness and the trials, trying to figure out which faction you're supposed to be in, and getting over all of those hurdles as well. I liked how the story went, and I think it's really good. So now we get to open up another book. I'm going to choose The Two Assistants Working for a Famous Couple. I think I know which one this is. And if it is the one that I think it is, I've already read it, and I gave it like a 3.5 a while ago. It is. It is that book. And I'm going to pick a book that is like this book since I have already read this book. It's The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. I should have realized that before, you know, I bought it. But I gave this like a 3.5, a 3.25, something like that a couple years ago. I thought that it was cute, but I wish that it would have focused more on the couple that was going through all of the issues that they were going through rather than the couple that we were supposed to want to get together, because I didn't really ship them all that much. But overall, it's a pretty cute romance, and it does have a lot of funny moments in it, as well as, you know, a lot of home renovations, which I really enjoyed. But I'm gonna figure out a book that's like this that I have on my shelves or possibly on Kindle Unlimited, and I will let you know which book we're gonna read next for this video. Okay, so I'm gonna pick The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I've had this on my bookshelf for a long time, and it does have a little bit of renovation stuff in it because he designs theme parks, and she is gonna have to work for him. And it's a billionaire romance, so they're celebrities, so you know. We're gonna do this. It's about Rowan and Zara. So I've heard really good things about it, but I'm excited because it's about an amusement park, and it's like building an amusement park and all that kind of stuff, hopefully. But I'm in a mood for a billionaire romance as well, so we're gonna do this. I think this is a good choice. No. Okay, so I just finished this book, and it gave me all the fuzzy feelings that I wanted. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 just because Rowan did something at the end, and I wanted to squeeze the crap out of him. In my review that I posted, I was in the middle of like all the epilogues when I posted it, but I said that these Kane men are like some of the most influential men that are out there, right? But they are some of the most hard-headed and stubborn men ever, and I just want to shake the crap out of them. I felt the same way with Callum. I haven't read Declan, is that his name? I haven't read his story yet, but that's like, you know, it's on my list to read. But I really enjoyed this one. It was very cute. It made me giddy. It made me like all, you know, and I just really enjoyed their story. Zara is my girl. I would want to be friends with her. And she has a great friend group too. Claire is awesome, and I really love her sister too. And I'm just glad that Rowan finally got over his boneheadedness and gave in to his feelings, because they're adorable, and I really like them together. So yes, Very good, very good. So now I have these two. I don't know which one. I don't know which one's which, so I'm gonna choose this one. Let's see which this one is. Ah. Shit. I've already read this one too. I read this one last year, either last year or the year before. It is Catching Feelings by Alicia Thompson, and I ended up giving this 4 stars. I thought this was a really cute baseball romance. It's very emotional. She is a heckler at one of his games, and they start an online relationship. He doesn't know it's her, but she knows that it's him, you know. So they start this online relationship. They start to catch feelings for each other, and you just see their relationship from there. I mean, it had it in here too, like not knowing who you're talking to type thing, which isn't usually my favorite, but Alicia Thompson does a really good job with this. I don't even know where my copy of this book is. Did I sell it? Like, is this my copy? I don't know. Probably. Who knows? But yeah, I did read this and I really, really enjoyed it. So if you're looking for a good baseball romance that has, like, you know, all the feelings and everything, has humor in it, it's very heartwarming, I would suggest this one to you. But since I've already read this one, we're gonna pick one from my bookshelves that has baseball, them not really liking each other. I think I have a few baseball ones on here, but it's back here. No, not. Oh, Brittany Cherry. The Problem with Players. We could do this. This is about a female coach, and when her ex-boyfriend somehow manages to land the job as her new assistant coach. Oh, yes. Life slips up. Okay, we're reading this one. We're gonna read The Problem with Players by Brittany Cherry. This is one of her newer series that just came out, and I've been wanting to read it. This was actually on my, for one of my videos that I was going to do earlier in the year, but I didn't get to it. So yes, I love me some Brittany Cherry. She writes some of the best romances that are out there, so I'm very excited about this. Only Brittany Cherry can make me cry and laugh at the same time. This is such a heartwarming read. I am really, really liking it. I really like Avery and I really like Nate together. They just have so much chemistry and warmth within their relationship, and it's a Brittany Cherry book. I'm not surprised, okay, because every time I read Brittany Cherry I feel this way, but it's got a lot to it. There are, like, Avery, she has depression, but she masks it with taking care of everybody else. She doesn't like to ask for help, and she just wants people to think that she's happy, but she's really not, and she struggles a lot with that. But Nate has dealt with depression before and has dealt with somebody really close to him having it, so he is very caring towards Avery when she's having her, I call them spells, you know, and it's just really sweet. So there's a lot of, one of my favorite tropes is like nursing back to health, and there's a lot of that in here. But Avery and Nate have a very complicated relationship. This is a second chance romance. They were, I would say, like high school sweethearts, but Nate left to go to the MLB, and Avery hasn't forgiven him for that. She's scared to be in a relationship with him, and at the beginning she's actually in a relationship and she's about to get married to this guy named Wes, and Wes is a freaking He is a sleazeball. I don't like him at all. But Nate just wants a friendship from Avery, and he'll get what he can take, pretty much. So, oh, and another thing. Nate is coming back, and he is supposed to be the head coach over the baseball team because Avery is the coach at her high school. She took over the team after the other head coach left, and she did not know that he was coming and that he was supposed to take over the head coach position, and she was going to get demoted to assistant coach. But him knowing her love of baseball and her love of the players and all of that, he just wants to help her. He doesn't really care about the position title or anything like that. So they work out a deal with each other and everything. And it's just really sweet. He is just so caring, and I connect with her so much because I am pretty much the same way about I want to take care of everybody else. And a lot of times I forget to take care of myself, especially when it comes to my mental health. And over this past year, I have done a lot of work with that. And Avery is not at that place yet ready to, you know, work on it. But Nate isn't pushing her to do that. He's just there for her, and I appreciate that a lot. My husband is the same way, and he knows when I'm going through my spells, and he's there for me. I might not want to talk about it all the time, but he's there for me, and I love that Nate is there for Avery too. It doesn't force her to talk about things if she doesn't want to. I just really love that. And I also really love Avery's relationship with her dad and her sisters. Oh my god. There's a couple of scenes in here, and that was one of the scenes that made me laugh and cry at the same time, because I just feel the love. Like, I just feel the love in this book. And there's so many heartwarming scenes in here, and I just love Brittany Cherry. Like, I just love her. I love all of her romances. They have so much feelings in them, and like, she is just top tier. Okay, top tier. Am I fangirling? Yes, I'm fangirling. I've been fangirling for Brittany Cherry for over a decade now, and she's one of the authors that got me into loving romance. I mean, I've always loved romance, but like, romance being one of my favorite genres, she is the reason why I love the genre so much. I've read pretty much every book by her except like 5. That's a lot. That's a lot. I got a whole section of Brittany Cherry on my bookshelf over there because I love her so much. But yeah, it's good. I don't know if it's going to be a 5-star because there's a trope in here, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But there's a trope in here, and I'm like, dang it, why did that have to be included? Because if it wasn't included, I would have given it a 5-star. It was just something that irked me, and I've been reading it a lot lately, and it's just getting on my nerves. But yeah, so this is, I love it. It's so good. Finished this, giving it a 4.5. Loved it. It was great. If you're looking for a book that's gonna like make you cry and make you laugh at the same time, I would highly recommend you read this. Honestly, I'd highly recommend you read any of Brittany Cherry's books because they're fabulous. I love Brittany Cherry, so this is really cute. All right, last book that we're gonna read for this. This is the wannabe golfer, or a has-been golfer, sorry, falls in love with his #1 fan. So we're gonna see what this is. I don't know. I don't think I've ever read a golf romance before. Oh, it's a Tessa Bailey. I didn't realize that Tessa Bailey had written a golf romance. Anyways, Fangirl Down. Never heard of it, but we're gonna get acquainted. Okay, so it's supposed to be a rom-com. I'm not gonna read the back of the book. I'm just gonna go into it without knowing anything. I have liked a few of Tessa Bailey's books in the past, but I have also disliked a few of Tessa Bailey's books in the past. So we will see how I feel about this one. And yeah, I will let you know how it goes along the way. Hi. So, surgery went well. I'm back home, hurting just a little bit, but I wanted to fill you in and let you know that I'm halfway through Fangirl Down, and this is cute so far. I like these scenes that we're getting, like on the golf course and everything like that, but I don't like the sex scenes all that much. They're kind of cringy to me, and it's just kind of like over the top per se. And what's his name? Wells. He is a former, like, he still golfs, but he has gone, like, he's had a dry spell the past couple years, so people don't really like him. He's kind of a douche. And then Josephine is his #1 fan, the one that's never given up on him. And she's in some financial issues, so Wells and her have a meet cute, and he's instantly attracted to her and like enamored by her. And a hurricane comes through and wipes out Josephine's family's golf shop, so he offers her a position to be his caddy. And she knows a lot about golf, and she says that she'll give him pointers and all that kind of stuff. And it's, you know, golf is a male-dominated sport, so he is extremely protective of her, which I like. When somebody gets too close, or if somebody that he knows is like a player or whatever, he's instantly like, I call it puff mode, you know, he like puffs up and he, don't mess with her, she's mine, blah blah blah. But it's a weird situation that they're in, because she is technically his employee, and he doesn't want her to feel like he is using her in that way, because he is attracted to her, but he also realizes, like, professionally he needs to keep it on the DL that, you know, that they are attracted to each other, because he doesn't want her name to get he doesn't want her to get a bad rep within the golf community. One thing that I do like about this book a lot is that she is diabetic. She's type 1, so she has a pump that she has, and she has like apps and stuff to follow her blood sugar, and she has to take insulin and all that kind of stuff. And I like that representation in here. It's very realistic, and I don't know if Tessa Bailey has diabetes or she did a lot of research, but there's a lot of research that went into this book, and I do appreciate that. I appreciate the diabetic rep. My grandmother, she was type 1 diabetic, and she had to take insulin shots, and it's a scary disease, especially when blood sugar is constantly going crazy and having to regulate it and everything. So that's a big topic in this book too, and Wells is willing to take on that role of making sure, especially when they're traveling, that Josephine takes care of herself. So I like that aspect of this book too. But the sex scenes in here, like I said, are a little cringy to me. They're not my favorite, but overall it's not a bad book, and I do think that I will read the next book in the series too, because I think it's about Tallulah, who is Josephine's best friend. I think that's her romance, hopefully. I like her a lot. But yeah, my library has this whole series, so I will most likely pick up the second book from my library. But wanted to fill you and let you know that I'm so sorry. I'm tired. Wanted to let you know that I'm halfway through, so I'm gonna go take a shower and rest, read some more of this tonight, and yeah. So wanted to fill you in, let you know that I finished Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. I'm giving this a 2.5. This lighting is not good. I'm trying to sit by my tree, but it's whatever. Anyways, it's a 2.5 for me. The story itself wasn't bad, but like I told you before, the steamy scenes in here, they grossed me out. I do not like that I am red. How about this? Is that better? No. Okay. Well, sorry homies, y'all just, yep. But they were very cringe to me, and I don't know. I thought that Wells and Josephine, I don't think that they shipped very well together. It was more of like a sudden attraction thing that happened. Wells didn't like her, but then all of a sudden he fell for her super hard. And I didn't get the overall, like, with them. I got why Josephine really liked him, but it was the Wells part of it that I was like, I don't know about you, dude. I don't know. He was grumpy, he was a douche, he was really sweet to her sometimes, but then when they got down and dirty, I was like, I don't like the dirty talk in here. It was odd to me. It's very odd. I did like the golf aspect of it though, and how they helped each other out. I wish there was more of that, because once they started to be intimate with each other, that's all they did. And the golf just kind of got pushed to the side a little bit, and I really wish there was more of a balance with the golf and their relationship. I did like the diabetic representation that we got in here. I liked how Wells, he was protective over her, and he made sure that she was doing what she was supposed to do with her insulin and her medicine and stuff. And he knew that when she was getting overwhelmed, he knew when she needed to chill out, and he wasn't forceful about it or anything, but he was just like, hey, your blood pressure's up, your blood pressure needs to regulate, you need to chill, let me handle some things. And he stepped into that role really nicely. But I am going to continue on with the series. My library has the second book. I already it's already on hold, because I want to see Tallulah and her relationship with Bennett. I think that's his name. Is it Bennett? Starts with a B, I believe. Graham? No. But I want to see Tallulah's relationship. But I think that if I feel the same way about the writing in here, then I probably won't go past book 2. But yeah, it was cute, but I wanted more golf and less cringe with steamy stuff. But overall, I enjoyed this video. The only book that I am keeping from this video is Divergent, and I again have Insurgent, the second book in the series, at my library right now. It's on hold, and I hate that I have slept on this series for so long, because I really enjoyed it. And I'm excited to continue on and see how the story is going to develop. But this is the only book that I'm keeping. I am giving away all the other ones, putting them in my unhaul pile. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see another one like this. I love doing blind dates with books, and I liked how if I already had the book, or if I'd already read the book, I picked something off my bookshelf. I want to continue that within the new year coming up. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below if you did. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any of these books, if you have the same feelings, if you disagree, if you agree, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.